Hi guys, I'm Laura.
And I'm Anj, and we're Veganish. Today we're going to be making an awesome hearty quick bread. So last week it was St. Patty's Day, and we actually wanted to come up with an Irish soda bread, but we wanted to make a healthy version of it, and through the whole process we ended up making something that was so far away from our initial soda bread recipe that we're just calling it a healthy, hearty quick bread.
We're really excited because it is got healthy fats in it, no sugar in it. It has flours that are actually good for you. Anj and I were trying to stay away from like the really processed white flours for a couple of weeks. So I thought oat flour might be a good idea. We usually use Pamela's, and this is nothing against Pamela's because if you're baking, it is a fabulous gluten-free flour blend.
It's great, and it's not like saying anything is specifically unhealthy about it.
No.
It's just a blend of natural things, like it's like rice flour, oat flour already in there.
So on the regular gluten-free flour that we have from Pamela's, for 30 grams, it has 2 grams of fiber and 1 gram of protein. If you were gonna use regular white flour, it has 1 gram of fiber and 3 grams of protein. Whole wheat is 4 grams of fiber and 4 grams of protein. So if you're not gluten-free, that would be an okay one to use. But if you could use oat flour for 30 grams, it is 3.2 grams of fiber and 5 grams of protein. So you're getting a lot more protein in this grain. It lowers the cholesterol and it has other minerals and vitamins. So we said, okay, we are definitely using oat flour in our healthy, hearty quick bread.
And we're not doctors, we're not nutritionists or anything. This is just what we looked up.
Half of the flour that we're gonna use is going to be oat flour. Now we don't actually have any oat flour on hand, so we are just gonna use our certified gluten-free oats, and we are just going to blend it in our blender until it actually comes up with a fine flour to use.
So easy.
It is. And the other flour that we're going to be using is Chana flour.
Chana flour is from chickpeas, and so this is actually packed with a lot more protein. So our bread is actually like protein filled for you.
Yes, exactly. High in fiber, high in protein.
Yeah, not just empty carbs that you're eating. Like, this is great.
Yeah, this is 7. For 30 grams, there's 7 grams of protein in there. So with the oats, which are high in fiber and protein, and the chana, which is high in protein, it's a win-win.
So it is a hearty bread, but it still tastes great.
It tastes really good.
Especially if you're on a diet and you want to have some sort of thing that you can just bite into that's you can warm it up.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely.
Maybe add some of our healthy butter on there.
Yes, for sure.
So we have our oats here. We're just gonna be putting about 2.5 cups into the blender. We wanna make sure that we're just blending up more than less. This might reduce down to 2 cups.
Right.
So our goal for the end is to have 2 cups of oat flour.
And if you're over, that's okay. You can just, you know, as long as you have 4 cups of flour altogether.
Now I'm just gonna blend this up.
Before we do this, just stick your oven on to 350 and blend it up. Give it a little shake if it's only blending in the middle, depending on how powerful your
mix it around.
is.
You don't really want any chunks in here.
No, you want it nice and fine.
Yeah. It still feels like it's pretty fine, but it still feels like there's some chunks in there, and I can see a little bit of like the oats. So we're just gonna do it for a little bit more. All right, so our oat flour is all blended up and done. And now we're going to put 2 cups even into the bowl.
Yeah. And then we're gonna do chana flour.
Keep in mind, if you taste chana flour or chickpea flour before it's cooked, it will be the nastiest thing you have ever tasted.
It is, yes.
Terrible, absolutely terrible. I don't know how chickpeas could make something so nasty.
Yes.
But it's just really, really bad.
So do not be discouraged if you taste your dough and you think, oh my goodness, what is this?
Yeah, no, it will not taste like that in the end, don't worry.
It has to cook. Chickpea flour always has to cook to actually taste good. Okay, so you're gonna add all of your dry ingredients into one bowl. So the only kind of trickier ingredient that is gonna go into this is xanthan gum. So you can usually get these in the natural section of your grocery store or at a health food store. It's not really that hard to find anymore these days. Okay, so what we're gonna do is just add 1 teaspoon of xanthan gum.
1.5 teaspoons of baking soda.
And 1 teaspoon of baking powder.
1.5 teaspoons of salt.
And because we are not adding sugar into our quick bread, we are going to use monk fruit sweetener. I found that monk fruit sweetener is the closest in flavor to regular sugar, but of course it is 0 calories and it is natural, so it is not bad for you at all.
No chemical kind of thing in here.
No. And we will do 3 tablespoons of monk fruit sweetener. You could also probably use stevia. If you do use stevia, just make sure you're cutting it down to about 1.5 tablespoons.
Yeah, because this is even ratios with normal sugar versus the other stuff. And you can like totally use stevia. I feel like some people just are more sensitive to it and it gives them a kind of like a cold feeling in their mouth and like, yeah, a different aftertaste. I mean, I love stevia. Like I will.
So do I. But I think in baking, sometimes what I do is I kind of mix them sometimes, but today we're using monk fruit sweetener.
Okay, so that's it for the dry ingredients, and now we mix.
So now we need something like buttermilk. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take 1 cup of soy milk. You can do any plant-based milk that you'd like. And we want this to actually be cold when we use it. We have 1 cup of soy milk, and we're gonna have 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And this actually, by doing this and mixing it together in about a couple of minutes, it will start to curdle and create buttermilk.
Lumps? Is it lumpy or like can you tell when it's curdled?
Yeah, you can tell when it's curdled because it kind of goes lumpy. Yeah, it reacts with the baking soda to help it rise.
I always want my milk to be lumpy.
Right, and sour.
Oh, I prefer it.
So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some butter. Make sure it is cold. And if you have watched our previous video, we actually showed you how to make a healthy non-palm oil vegan butter, which is fabulous, and so that's what we're going to be using.
Great.
It is.
Like you honestly cannot tell that it's like different than normal vegan butters, and you can't tell that vegan butter is different than normal like cow milk butters.
Right.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
This is fabulous. So what I did is we just scooped some into a 1/2 cup because that's all you're going to need and we put it in the freezer. So you can actually do that before you get started just to make sure it's really nice and cold. And then scoop it into your bowl, and we are going to use you could use a fork for this, I guess, but we're going to use a pastry cutter to cut it in because you want chunks.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want this to get warm. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but this is actually a really key step.
Okay.
Here, I'll do this while
we wouldn't make you do this if it wasn't necessary.
No, we're all about easy baking, easy meals, easy baking, things that taste delicious. And we were really excited to bring this baked good to you because it is something that you don't have to feel guilty about eating.
Oh, you're right.
I mean, not that you should ever really feel guilty about eating. If you're eating a healthy lifestyle, Anj and I not often, but we will now and again have treats.
I often have treats. Speak for yourself.
So it should be kind of crumbly. You can sort of see tiny little crumbles of butter in the mixture.
And you could just do this with a fork. It's just easier with this tool.
It is. It's a lot easier, and the less time that you spend
trying to chunk it up.
then of course it stays cooler.
All right.
Okay, and now Anj is going to just pour in the milk.
Our curdled, lumpy milk.
Yes, as you can see, it's already, you can see the curdle starting to happen there. And yeah, it's lumpy now.
So the key is to just mix this until it's blended. You don't want to overmix. That'll ruin the whole consistency and texture of everything.
And this is like a pie plate. Give it a little spray so it doesn't stick. And Anj has almost got it mixed there.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's coming together nicely and it's not overmixed. And we are going to, awesome. So we're just going to dump this into the pan. So try not to get your hands on it too much, but it has to be kind of pushed down into the pan. Oh, it's nice because I can see a few chunks of butter.
Yeah.
Okay, and she's just gonna make a crisscross, like an X.
An X.
Right through it.
How deep? Like?
About 1 inch deep. Okay, she's just sprinkling on the oats. Then you pop it in your oven. Okay, so I said 350, but I meant 375 is what you want to heat your oven up to. And then you're gonna pop it in your oven for about 30 minutes. and then do the toothpick check and see if it's done. But we will tell you exactly how long ours cooked for, and see you back there in a few minutes.
We're back. This was just in the oven for a total of 40 minutes. It was in there for about 30 minutes, and I checked it again. It seemed a little bit too wet on the inside, so I put it in for another 5 minutes, then another 5 minutes after that. The inside still looked moist though. Like, I hate that word, but it looked nice and moist when I pulled it out. If it's in there for too long, it will get crumbly and just, won't turn out as good. It smells great, and it looks awesome.
It does. So we've just cooled it down a little. Ange is gonna give us a slice. We are gonna give it a try with the vegan butter that we made. We're just gonna spread a little bit of butter.
Yes, this is our homemade vegan butter.
So our butter is just a little bit cold at the moment.
But if you saw our last video, you can learn how to make this too.
Yeah, please watch the other video. We will link it at the end of this video on how we made our vegan butter. Okay, let's try this.
Oh my goodness, it tastes so good. It really does. Like,
This is an amazing. Like, you want to have a snack in the morning with your tea or your coffee. This is perfect because it's loaded with fiber, it's loaded with protein, and no sugar. This is such a nice treat.
It's really so great. Like, I want to eat this entire thing.
So if you could actually find some sugar-free jam, which we will be featuring one day soon, and put that on, it would be perfect.
Awesome.
Yes,
it really.
I'm so pleased.
Oh my goodness, it tastes so nice. Like, it's not crumbling apart. It's not like, it has a nice moist density to it. It's not like too dense, but it has like a nice, like, you can bite into it and it's like,
It is.
a real nice mouthfeel.
Absolutely. So this was extremely serendipitous because if we hadn't have tried things for the Irish soda bread on St. Patrick's Day,
You're right.
we never would have come up with this healthy version.
That's true.
So give it a try. Let us know if you liked it, how it turned out for you, and any suggestions that you've got for us. We would love to veganize for you, or even to make a healthier version of something that you already enjoy.
Oh, you're right. Or if you need ideas for anything specific, like you're going on a diet and you can't have this certain thing or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. There's a like button down there. There's a subscribe button down there. So please share.
Yes, definitely do that.
Okay, thanks.
Have a great day.
See you later.
It's kind of, oh my goodness.